Hey guys, so listen, I just wanted to share something with you guys tonight and or whenever you're watching this video, and I'm thankful that you decided to join me. So listen, I'm going to give you some tips on preparing for 2026 tax season, and so you can engage and ask questions here, and I'll be proud to answer your questions. But I have on my T-shirt. I'm ready to get to work. There's some things I'm going to walk you through on your 1040. Some of you don't even know how to read your tax form, and I'm going to show you how to read your tax form for what this one big, beautiful bill does for your taxes. And so the IRS has already drafted up some tax forms, and so this is not complete, or this is not final, but this will give you an idea of what to expect for 2026 tax season, which is crazy. This is November. So then we have December, then there's January. People will be ready to file their taxes in January. So in 2 months. I know you guys don't want to think about that yet, but I'm sure when that time comes, you're going to get your W-2. You're going to be excited about getting your taxes done. And I just want to prepare you for tax season. And so welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm going to walk you through on this tax form. So please feel free to share, like this video, comment, but I'm going to walk you through how to read your 1040. And it's going to be interesting of how the changes are going to take place for 2026. When we go into 2026, this will not be something that's strange to you. So you can take the information I'm sharing with you. If you decide to file your own taxes, you should know this. Or if you decide to go with a tax professional like myself, who will submit it electronically, you will be able to know what questions to ask and what to look for on your tax form. There's no need for you to be blindsided by what's coming for you for your taxes and going into 2026. So thank you so much again for joining. And again, feel free to share this video on your page, and because I'm sure there's somebody that will be appreciative of this information. And so welcome everybody. Tell me where you're from. If you would just post your location, that'd be great. Tell me where you're from. Of course, I'm in Maryland tonight, so I'm here in Maryland, and so you can see it's kind of dark outside or whatever. So I'm here working in Maryland. I'll be traveling this week, so it's going to be a great week, and I'm looking forward to it. And but again, I'm going to go through your tax form. If you have any specific questions as I'm going through it, you can feel free to drop it in a comment. If you're filing your own taxes, let me know. I'm filing my own taxes. I want to see if you're filing your own taxes. If you're hiring someone to file your taxes for you, let me know that too. I'm hiring someone to file your taxes. Or if you're interested in our services, you can feel free to drop us a comment. Let me know that you're interested. DM me. Let me know you want me to file your taxes. But I'm going to teach you how to read the tax form. It's like I said, the one big beautiful bill has been approved already, and I'm going to like listen. I'm going to get thirsty at times when I talk. So, but I want you all to be attentive to this lesson. Now, I'm a professor. I teach accounting for a University of Maryland, and so I teach accounting. So this is what I do all the time. But for this information, I want you all to get this. So 1040, let's go with it. So here's a 1040. Are you familiar with a 1040? I'm sure you all are. If you've done your taxes or you have somebody else doing them, you get a copy of 1040. This is a 1040. And what is going to change on this 1040? I'm going to walk you through on the changes here. So if you can see my screen, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So if you're filing married, joint, singles, whatever you're filing, whatever your tax filing status is, of course, your name and everything go at the top here. How you're filing, whether it's single, married, joint, whatever, that information is going on here. But the one key thing that I want to highlight to you is specifically um, on line number 12. So we're going to talk about line 12 today from Schedule A. We're going to talk about line 12. If you've never seen, if you never paid attention to line 12, this is your opportunity to understand line 12. Let me see if this is actually showing up on the screen. Um, okay, I see here. So here we are, line 12. Let's look at this line 12. Make this a little bit bigger for you. So this is the standard deduction, and it says or itemized deductions. Standard deduction or itemized deductions. Do you all know what the difference of standard deduction versus itemized deduction is? If you know, feel free to share it. But standard deduction is what the government gives you. And I need to X out of the screen here. So this is what the government gives you. Standard deduction is what they assign for you. So let me show you what this standard deduction means. So for 2025, the standard deduction is let's see, 31,500 for married filing joint or surviving spouses. So if a spouse passed this year, you're filing and get 31,500. And then head of households, you get $23,625. This is what goes on line 12. If you're single, you're filing your taxes, you're going to get $15,750. And I'm going to show you what this looks like on this form. So let's say you're filing single. So line 12 here will be $15,750. So what does this mean on your taxes? So $15,750, that is significant. So that is what the standard deduction is for 2025. And when you file your taxes, what does this mean? So on line 1, if you're working a W-2 job, and let's say you made $50,000, I'm just using that number as an example. You made $50,000. When you factor in this $15,750, we're going to subtract that from the 50,000. So what do we end up here with? You're going to end up with 34,250. 34,250 is what you'll end up with on this line. I'm just keeping this simple. Now, this gets exciting with the big beautiful bill, the one big beautiful bill that Trump signed into law. So listen, I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or not. That doesn't matter to me. I'm an accountant, so I have to talk about these things with my clients. So I'm going to be talking about this to my clients specifically and how this relates to them, even from a business perspective, entrepreneur perspective, so they can understand how this number works. So 15,750. Let's say, like, for example, you want to itemize. If you want to itemize, now the government is giving you a chance to itemize your taxes even more. And what's different now? What's different now is they've increased. So this one big beautiful bill has increased how much taxes you can write off that you've paid to the state and local government. If you pay state taxes, some states you don't pay state taxes, but if you pay state taxes, you can write off that. You can write off property taxes, and that amount is capped at 40,000, whereas before it was capped at 10,000. So my clients who have paid more than $10,000 to the government, to the state and local government, property taxes, now they can write off more of the taxes that they've written off or that they paid. And this will give them an opportunity. So this gives you an opportunity to write off more taxes. So let's see. Now, where is the Schedule A? So here's Schedule A. Now I'm going to tell you something. Those of you that go to church and you're wondering if you should write off your tithes, your offerings, the answer is yes, you should. You should include that on your taxes. So I'm going to go to Schedule A. You see it says draft, not for filing, because the IRS has already prepared this form, but it's not ready for filing yet. And on this form, it says at the top, itemized deductions, right? So it says here, itemized deductions. I'm giving you all a chance to follow along with me. I don't want to go too fast while I'm going through this. I want to make sure that this makes sense for you. But this is itemized deduction. So if you have something that you feel is, so I'm going to have to take a really strong look at this with my clients. Man, let me X out of this, make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to have to really take a strong look at this with my clients. So why am I telling you this? Because you could be missing out on tax deductions, on itemized deductions, if we don't include everything that you've paid out. Medical is not so easy to write off. So from a common standpoint, most people cannot write off medical expenses. So don't even try it because it has to be 75.075% of your adjusted gross income. So if we don't get to that number, you cannot write it off, basically. And so this is what we need to consider when it comes down to itemized deductions. But here, I'm going to focus on SALT, state and local taxes. So number 5. You see, here's the number that I was referring to. This is the game changer for 2026 related to your 2025 tax year. This is the game changer. So the 40,000, and it says 20,000 if married filing separately. Because if you're filing separate, basically you need to, and so now my clients that are filing separate, this might be a really good idea. So if you are married and you're like, I want to file separate from my spouse, we probably need to really take a look at this to see if this is something that's going to benefit you. In the past, it did not benefit, but now this might be beneficial. But like I said previously, this was capped at 10,000. So let me remove that for a second. So that was capped at 10,000. And so when we look at the Schedule A, and I'm going to see if I can find one. So 2024 is what I'm going to look for. And so you're in school right now. This is free education. Free education that I'm giving you. So I'm going to show you the differences between 2024 and how it's been in the past and how it's changed for now, 2025. Under this big, beautiful bill. So anytime the presidents, the government make changes to something, we have to take that into consideration when it come to taxes. So let me add this to um, the screen, so you should be able to see it now. So this is 2024. Now what's changed? So here, the max was 10,000. This is for 2024. The max was $10,000. So now the max is 40,000. So that's a significant jump from 10,000 to now 40,000. That is a pretty significant jump. Now, if you pay over $50,000 in taxes, state and local property taxes, that's insane. But some people do it depending on how much taxes they're paying on their property. But this is something that you can take advantage of. So I want you to take this take this lesson, your notes or whatever, use this as an opportunity for you to uh, include on your taxes. So what you're going to do is when you file your taxes, you're going to look at how much taxes you paid to the state, how much taxes you paid for your property, meaning the property you live in, so your home, your residence. So how much taxes you paid on your property, and then you're going to also, so that's going to be capped at 40,000. Then you get mortgage interest and points. So your mortgage interest and points is going to show up on your mortgage tax form, which is a 1098. That's going to show your mortgage interest and points. So that's going to also be included on this form. Also, gifts. Now, this is where you're going to enter how much you've donated to the church. I don't care if you donated 1,000. I don't care if you donated 15,000. Some of y'all donated enough that you can retire over the years from donating to the church. Put that on this line, how much you donated to the church or any nonprofit. It could be a nonprofit organization, Boys and Girls Club of America, whatever nonprofit that you donate to, you can put it on this line. If you've done anything else, like donated a car, that's going to show up on line 12. And that's going to total out to what you have donated for the year. So your whole deduction, everything that you're writing off on this form, Schedule A, everything you're writing, and don't even look at line 15. No. Most people don't qualify for that, so I'm not even going to go over that. But if you do have questions about line 15, you can inbox me directly, or line 16, anything else on this form. But I'm specifically focusing on the state and local tax, which is here, line 5, that section, as well as section 8, and also section 11, 12. So those are the ones I'm really focused on for this particular conversation. And I want you to keep this in mind for tax season. Tax season is coming up really quick. So let's say, like, for example, let me complete this for you. So let's say, let's just act like we've calculated all of our taxes and we're at, I'm just going to come up with the number, $30,000. Then let's go down here and act like that we have paid interest on our mortgage and we paid, let's say 15,000. Some people paying a lot, so it depends. And let's just say we gave money to the church. We got 5,000 here. I'm just keeping these numbers very simple. But the total that we have, 30,000 plus 15,000, that's 45,000. Then we have 50, so that's $50,000 that we're writing off. And let me show you how this works out. So we're going to now go to our 1040. So we're writing off $50,000. I'm not even playing around with this. This is crazy. Now, I did not see a cap, but I'm going to revisit this because does this mean that there could be people that's not paying taxes? And I mean the everyday, average working citizen, middle class, middle class citizens. How much taxes are you guys going to be paying? How much taxes are you guys going to be paying? Barely anything. If you're writing off state and local taxes, depending on how much money you're paying in taxes to your state, depending on how much money that you're putting into your mortgage, how much your interest was, and depending on how much you donated to the church or your nonprofit, how much does that total end up being? If you made 50,000, I'm just using this as a clear example. If you made $50,000 and line 12 is the total deductions that you've taken, which I just mentioned, between your state and local taxes, property taxes, mortgage interest, and donations, calculating that estimate 50,000, you're going to end up at zero taxes. That's crazy. That's literally crazy. So listen, I'm not going to be on here all night. I just want to show you this really quick to give you an idea of what the one big beautiful bill does for the average citizen. And I know I'm going to get questions. I know people are going to ask me questions. Donald, well, wait a minute. I don't know. Like, this is crazy. You all won't be paying that much money in taxes if you write off all your stuff. Now, if you don't have anything to write off, that's going to be a little different. But I'm just curious of something. I'm really curious of something. So I'm going to be playing around on this for a few minutes because I'm just curious, like, what the outcome could be with this new one big beautiful bill. Because what I see is that you won't be paying a whole lot in taxes. So I'm looking at the potential outcomes for the middle class taxpayers. The outcomes include both direct tax benefits as well as broader economic whatever impacts. But most middle class taxpayers are expected to see a lower tax bill than they would have if the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act provisions had expired as scheduled. You're going to see a lower tax bill. You're going to see a lower tax bill. I don't know, like, what are some of the comments that you guys are thinking about having a lower tax bill? What do you guys think? Because if you have a lower tax bill, like, you're basically paying nothing in taxes. You're basically paying nothing in taxes. So how much taxes would you be paying as like the middle class? How much will the middle class actually be paying? So the one big beautiful bill, I'm just curious. We didn't even get into the child tax credit, which increased to 2,200 per child, per qualifying child. The child tax credit, $2,200. So if you have a child, each child is 20, each qualifying child for 2024, the child tax credit, those of you that have a child, it was worth up to $2,000. For 2025 tax season, the child tax credit has increased to $2,200 per qualifying child. So it went from $2,000 to $2,200. And like I said, this state and local tax deduction is capped temporarily to $40,000 and is phased out depending on how much money you make. That's significant. That is significant. So those of you that are curious how the tax season is going to look for most of you, without doing taxes just yet for that year, for 2025, I'm going to say you look pretty well. I think I'm even going to be relieved as a professional because I get to see smiles on my clients' faces, relief on their faces because they've been looking for tax breaks. I'm telling you, like I mean, a break from having a tax bill. I think that now we're going to see results of this administration. I would say, again, I'm not getting into all the politics and stuff, so you all can have that. I'm only talking about taxes. I'm only talking about taxes. Those of you that are working Americans that are paying taxes, you're likely going to see a tax savings. And that tax savings could even dwindle to zero, depending on how much you're writing off. Your tax bill could be zero, depending on how much you're writing off. I don't know. What do you all think about that? So you tell me in the comments. Rachel, welcome. Rachel, I think that you're going to be happy about this new tax season. I think you're going to be very happy with this new tax season because tax rates are going to benefit the average American. You might be at zero. You might be at zero. And I'm going to be excited for tax season to see how this really works for my clients and you being one of them. But this is going to be really interesting. Zero tax bill for many people. I don't know. Maybe the tariffs are actually working. This puts money back into your pocket. This puts money back into your pocket as a taxpayer. So, yeah, you're going to be excited about it. So yeah, Rachel, yes. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be happy about tax season because I think that, like I said, with this one big beautiful bill, the results are here. We're going to see the results of this administration. I'm an accountant. I don't get into the politics of administrations. All I do is teach what they put out there that applies to accounting and tax. So for business entrepreneurs, so Rachel, entrepreneurs, you being one of them, you're going to benefit from this as well. So track your expenses. Track every expense. Whatever you're using, cell phone, whatever you're using, your internet, your computer, like whatever you're using, software, any software you're using, we are writing everything off. And apparently the IRS is not targeting the small business owners. They are targeting people that's making way much more money, over $400,000, so it's going to be a target of people that are making a lot of money. So you're going to, we're really going to see the shift the shift in what the government is doing. Like, it's going to be a major shift, and so the everyday person is going to find this to be beneficial. So, Rachel, while you're on here, let me show you. So, this is an example of someone that is making $50,000 a year. So, $50,000 a year. If they were writing off $50,000 of itemized deductions, if they were writing off, let's say, as I mentioned here, if they're taxes, state and local taxes, as well as property taxes, 35,000. If they're writing off mortgage interest, 15,000. If they're writing off donations to church, 5,000. That's a total of 50,000 right there. You won't have a tax bill if you made 50. If your income was $50,000 that year for 2025, and your deductions are 50,000, your tax bill is zero. So whatever you paid the government, your federal income tax, whatever you paid on your federal income tax, you're getting it all back. You're getting it all back. So if you paid 2,000, if you paid 5,000, if you paid $10,000 to the IRS, you're getting your money back. If you don't own anything, you got a zero net balance. I want people. So what is the assignment? What is the assignment? So by the beginning of next year, or let's say before the end of next year, before the end of this year, people need to increase their giving. Increase your giving to churches, to nonprofit organizations. Increase how much you're giving, so you can write it off. So it's basically like the government saying, donate to these nonprofits, donate to your local community, donate to your churches, donate, because if you donate, that can offset your tax bill. So there's a lot that we can take away from this. There's a lot that we can take away from this. And I'm going to actually post a comment. So takeaways. So there's one: donate to nonprofits, including churches, to maximize itemized deductions. That's takeaway number one. Takeaway number two: you're going to track your state and local income tax and property tax for 2025. This is significant. Track it. The other thing, so you're going to want to track, what if I've been donating to Purple Heart? Yeah, you can. Yeah, your Purple Heart donations qualify as well. So whatever nonprofit, so your nonprofit donations, that's fine. Purple Heart is fine too. So donate before the end of 2025. Donate as much as you can, as much as your finances allow you to. Because 2026, when it's time to do your taxes, your refund should be bigger, or you owe way much less in taxes. Either one. So either going to get a bigger refund, or you're going to owe way less money in taxes. It's going to go either way. The pendulum is going to go either way. Just make sure you're donating to a nonprofit or a church. And takeaways number 3, you're going to want to get the mortgage interest statement, which is a 1098, form 1098. So I'm giving homework on social media. Y'all got homework. So anybody that's watching this, you got homework. So this is your 3 things you got to do. 3, just 3 things you need to do for next year. Like before next year, donate. By the time January comes, you need to know how much money you paid in state and local. You're going to see it on your W-2. Number 1, you're going to see that on your W-2. So you'll see state and local taxes reported. And this is only applicable to states that you're paying taxes to. Delaware does not qualify, nor Florida, and Texas do not qualify. You'll see state and local taxes reported on your W-2. That's 1. The next thing, you're going to see, you're going to get your mortgage interest statement, as I said in takeaways number 3. Your mortgage, you want to see your mortgage interest statement because that's going to also show your property taxes. So property taxes reported on the 1098 mortgage statement. So you're going to want that form 1098. So this is your homework. You want this for next year. And by the way, while people are on here, if you want to file bankruptcy before next year get here, we can help you file bankruptcy. And my business partner Rachel is on here as well. And so make sure you contact one of us if you're interested in getting bankruptcy, applying for bankruptcy to start fresh in 2026. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out to one of us and we can help you. But yeah, so this is significant. Not everybody will qualify, but I think a lot of people will qualify to itemize significantly on their taxes and reduce their tax bill or get a bigger refund. But Rachel had a good question. What about Purple Heart? If you're donating to Purple Heart, Goodwill, or any of those organizations, you can include that as part of your write-off. Do it before the end of this year while you can write it off, because come next year, it's a brand new year, which is fine. You can do it, but maximize as much as you can now. So what is this about? This is about the One Big Beautiful Bill signed by the Trump administration that many people cringe when they hear the word Trump, I know, but for taxes, I'll take it. What do you think? For taxes, I will take it. Hold on, let me draw this a little bit closer. For taxes, I will take it. I'm sure that many of you will say the same thing. Donald, I'm going to take this savings that we have because we need the tax savings. We need the tax savings in our community. We need the tax savings amongst our seniors. We need the tax savings now. Like, this beautiful bill is going to bring about tax savings for the average, everyday, middle class working person. And half of you all will not have a tax bill come 2026 for 2025 tax year. I'm telling you, you're going to be happy with your taxes come 2026. If you've owed taxes in the past, 2026 looks better for tax season. And I'm saying this to you because many of you want to save money in taxes. And I think that this will be something that you're really looking. You say, I always donate to nonprofits. Should they be giving me receipts? Yeah, definitely get receipts from them. If they don't give you a receipt, keep track of it yourself. So yeah, you should get a receipt just so you can have documentation that you've actually donated. But the thing is, the good thing about this, Tavon, I'm glad you asked that question. The IRS apparently will not be targeting people that make middle class, low income. So they're targeting people that's making over $400,000 a year. So yeah, it's going to be different for those of you that make that don't make as much as the higher income people. So those of you that make middle like classified as middle class, low, low income class, whatever, the IRS will not be targeting you from based on what they're saying. So this is the Trump administration that has put this into place with the One Big Beautiful Bill. And so I'm just breaking this apart to help people understand what is coming for tax season. And like I said, it looks better. I'm excited for tax season for my clients. I'm excited to see them pay less money in taxes. I'm excited to see them get refunds. I'm just super excited about it. And I'm just sharing this information for free because most people do not understand what's coming. All you see is all the noise and everything else is going on. You like government shutdown. The reason the government shut down is because they don't have no money coming in. You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it. Thank you so much for the heart. You cannot have it both ways. Either you want the government to shut down and get themselves together, which they're now reopened, or what do you want? You're saving money in taxes. Numbers have to work. I'm an accountant. Many people are not accountants. You said, "Well, I'm glad I'm at 399,000 a year." That's a good one, Tavon. That's a good one. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. We have to think about like how much money we're saving in taxes and why the government was shut down. They don't have a lot of money going into SNAP. If you got a problem with SNAP, donate to the nonprofits and say, hey, let's take care of those that can't afford to buy groceries. Let's take care of those that cannot put food on their table. Let's take care of those that cannot pay their bills. Let's put money into these nonprofits. We need to be more on the nonprofit side than the government side. We need to be telling the nonprofits, hey, I want to see a change in our community. I want to see more resources in our community. I want to see our community educate each other. I want to see our community donate to each other. I want to see our community thrive. That's why the nonprofits exist. So if anything, this is a power move to put more money into the nonprofits and take it away from entities that are not working for us. Like the government. The government is not really working for us. We know this. We know the government is not really working for us. So this One Big Beautiful Bill puts us all in position to pay less money in taxes and put more money into the nonprofit organizations. It makes sense. It makes sense. So those of us that are thankful for this power move, let's do this. Let's put more money into our nonprofits. So those of you that's just joining, what is going on? The One Big Beautiful Bill, which Trump administration has signed into law back this summer. So in the summer, this was put into law, which triggered the shutdown. The One Big Beautiful Bill that was approved in the summer triggered the shutdown. Why did it trigger the shutdown? Because you're paying less money in taxes. Some of you will have a zero tax bill. I feel like I'm preaching. Can I get an amen from somebody? Can I get an amen from somebody? An amen. Pass the offering plate. Pass something. I need an offering basket. Where's my offering basket? I need something. I need an offering basket because I just said something. I said something that many people need to be shouting today and saying, thank God we're paying less money in taxes. And then the pastors of these churches should be thankful that more money will be coming into the church. But then I would say to the pastors, listen, put more money into the community. Because if I'm donating more money to the church, I want to see the money going into the community. I want to see more people, bills are paid. I need more people to get fed. I need more people because we've been relying on the government to do it and they failed us. And do not tell me that the government has been working for you, because it did not work for me and my family. So don't even tell me that it's worked. It does not work. I don't care what president is in office. I don't care what congressman is in office. Tell me where it works in every situation. They can't look out for everybody. They just can't. They're going to look out for certain people, but they can't look out for everybody. But nobody wants to know the truth. Nobody wants to know the truth. Everybody wants to get on the bandwagon. Ask Jasmine Crockett to stand up and say it. Tell her to break down his taxes for you. Tell Candace Owens to break down taxes for you. Let me drop some names that people know. Tell them to get on this live and tell us about taxes. No, they cannot. They're not going to do that. But less money is going into the government because of this one big beautiful bill, which triggered the shutdown. Why? Because the government is not getting much money. Thank you, Rachel. She said, amen. Thank you. You're going to keep more money in your pocket. You're going to keep more money. What does this look like? Listen, in this season, so let me just share this. I've been doing taxes over 25 years. I've been in banking for 10 years. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. Take this moment to save. Take this moment to shift your money into something that's going to build wealth. This should be the biggest moment that you take to build wealth for you and your family. And my team can help you to do that, okay? But I'm just telling you, take this moment to save. Why don't churches start trust for its members by using dividends with it? Well, I wouldn't get the church to start a trust. I would refer them to an attorney to start a trust. But yeah, that's a very important thing. Tavon, you already know you're my brother, man. Come on, you already know. You're on point. You're always on point. You're always on point. But this is something that we need to teach our community about. We need to teach our community about starting a trust to protect their assets. Absolutely. Like, that's something that's necessary. That should be a part of your estate planning. But we got to get into, people need to clean up their finances before they even step into setting up a trust, because their finances are jacked up. But we definitely need to talk about a trust and having that as part of your estate plan. So estate planning is very important. And listen, I'm sharing this information with you all now before I share it with my clients. I'm sharing this with you all right now before I share this with my clients. And my clients, they're going to get this one-on-one with me. They're going to have an intimate discussion with me to talk about their particular finances as it relates to their business, their journey of entrepreneurship. So I'm going to be talking about this to my clients, but I wanted to post this on social media on my Facebook page for you all to get this information as well. Somebody is interested to learn how they're going to save money in taxes. So the one big beautiful bill that was signed into law by the Trump administration has basically initiated this whole shutdown situation, because the government is not going to make a whole lot of money off of you, because you're going to keep more money in your pocket. You're going to keep more money in your pocket. And if you don't pay any taxes next year, I need y'all to cash at me. I will make sure I have a Cash App, a Zelle, Venmo, all that stuff. Send me send me what you're saving. If you're angry about saving money in your taxes, send me what you're saving and I'll do something with it. But I'm just saying, like, you're going to save so much money in taxes, it's going to be ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much money you're going to save in taxes. And I want you to take the notes. I put some notes here for you all to get. And I don't know why it's not showing up on all my pages, but I'm gonna post my notes again for everybody to see it on my page. But I put some tasks, a list of tasks that you need to consider on my page, because I want you all to start gathering your stuff now. What am I saying? Donate to nonprofits, donate to churches, put more money into that. And some churches not even calculating how much you donated to them. So do it yourself. How much did I donate this year so far? Because if you're over the standard deduction amount, if you're over the threshold, you can itemize. You can itemize. Plus, on top of that, you're adding on state and local taxes. That is major savings. That is a major savings. That basically means that whatever you pay your state, if you are in a state that you pay taxes to, like Maryland, DC, Virginia, if you're paying taxes in those states, it's almost as if the federal government is giving you that money back. Amen, somebody. This is Sunday. I think I'm preaching. I think I'm preaching to somebody. Somebody is saying, I got delivered tonight. Somebody's saying, I'm been set free tonight. Somebody saying, I'm looking forward to tax season 2026. I'm looking forward to that stimulus check. If that stimulus check come out, I'm not sure if it's coming out or not. Be careful of scammers as they're trying to get you to get your information so they can take that stimulus check from you. The government has not done anything. You're not going to have to do anything. The government will initiate that $2,000 to you if they get it approved. Don't worry about trying to apply for it. You don't need to call 1-800 nothing. Just wait till the government issued that check to you. You don't need to go through no third party. That is it. Because scammers are on top of this and they're trying to take your social security number. They're trying to take your identity because if they can do it, they're going to take that money from you. So be careful of scammers. Watch your grandparents. Watch your parents. Tell them, Mom, Dad, do not accept any kind of phone calls is asking you for that information. So make sure you tell them, do not accept that information from anybody. And listen, I know somebody's going to watch this later. But I just want to share with you, like, this is amazing. This is some good information that I'm sharing. And I hope that you all take note what's coming. This is good information. I'm on here. If y'all have questions before I end, do y'all have any questions for me? If not, it's been great. And I hope that you all take heed and be ready for 2026. Get your stuff together. Get all your documents in order and prepare for a wonderful tax season. If you're an entrepreneur, I'll be talking about that in my next live. And so you can definitely feel free to tune in to that. And but thank you all so much for tuning in today to get this information. And if this was really, really helpful to you, it encourages me if you leave a comment. It encourages me to keep going. It encourages me if you just give me a thumbs up or something. Send me some stars, whatever you want to do. And so I can continue to feel encouraged to share more. And no need to gatekeep over here. I share the information. It's fine. You should know. But anyway, great time with you all and have a good rest of your day.